Hello everyone, welcome back to Frame for Tales. My name is Amber Cyper and I hail from the International Isometric Solid Mine. And I am stealing all the jokes that I saw in chat while we were setting up. But no, seriously. My name, for those of you who don't know, my name is Amber Cyper and I am joined once again by Flying Fox, playing the Flying Fox in Sonic 2.
Yeah, I think I found my voice.
I think we've done it.
Sorry, I'm still a bit from the last one.
No, it's okay. Like, you got a very solid PB. I'm proud of you.
People are finding out. They'll say so in chat. So.
Yeah. Just to preface, this is just like the last run where it is run on the Android version. We are doing it through a virtual machine known as BlueStacks. And we are using a controller, we're not using touchscreen. And to answer a question I kept seeing in chat, yes, the Android versions of Sonic's 1, 2, and CD are all free. They do have ads, but you can in fact download them on your mobile devices and play them. I think without any further ado, are you all set to go?
I think so.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
I'll count you down from 5 and we'll start the last run of the Tails portion of the Frame for Tales Sonic block. So,
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the next 3 stages of me just kind of figuring out what to talk about. So this is Sonic 2 2013 because there's not too much to really talk about. This is not too different from a glitchless run of the game because many things were made solid. But this game came out in 2013, as I already said. The game is out on Android and iOS. There's a few differences between the mobile version and the Genesis version. You can play as Tails and Knuckles. Tails can fly and swim like you can in Sonic 3. You can remove the speed cap like in the other Whitehead ports, and you can use elemental shields like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. There are no level wraps, there are no screen wraps, there are no zips, and there is no slope glitch in the mobile version. That is a pretty common trend between the 3 Whitehead ports. So, this reason is mostly because everything was made solid. So, I would like to take a moment or two while we're still in Emerald Hill 1 to thank you all for watching the Frame for I almost said Frame for Tales on purpose, like without even thinking about it. The Frame for Tales marathon. This is an all woman run speed run marathon. I almost said it's just a woman speed run. I work overnights. I've been up for about 15 hours now.
Oh my god.
Like, I do all my commentary on no sleep. It's gonna be great.
No, I really do appreciate you helping me.
No, absolutely. I am happy to be here and happy to, like, do this, and I'm so glad that you asked me and have me here. So, I do see someone saying it was a PB in Sonic 1. We got 1343
nice.
IGT.
Wait, say that again?
1343 IGT.
43. World record is 1327, I think.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on the number.
No, it's okay. So it's not quite a world record, but it is definitely an RTA PB, it looks like.
So you said
1322 is world record.
1340. Yeah, that's a PB if you said 1340 something.
It's 1343 IGT.
Yeah, that's a PB.
And nice. So that's actually PB for you, but not quite a world record.
No, but I am going to be working on that after I finish this marathon.
Nice. So I can actually do real commentary here. What you just saw happen was you saw us taking advantage of path swappers and the way they work in this game. We only really do that once in this run, where you have to land on a very specific part of that path to be able to activate it, so we can skip a portion of the level. This is because we can't do like wraps or zips or anything like that because all the walls and stuff are solid. And there is no wrap in this stage, actually. There's just a door that functions correctly in this version, but incorrectly in Genesis. But but yes, I want to thank everyone for watching this marathon. These things only happen due to the support from viewers like you. So I'm gonna, PBS it up real quick. So like, this marathon happens in part by support from viewers like you. Thank you. So please consider subscribing if you do enjoy what you like seeing. And it does help us do more events like this in the future. And you actually, what just happened was we picked up speed shoes here, and in the Genesis version of this game, if you touch the water after getting speed shoes, or you get speed shoes while underwater, you lose them in Genesis. That actually got fixed. Whitehead did the right thing. And as we move into Aquatic Ruin 2, you'll notice that we're actually playing in 4:3, and that's the aspect ratio of the screen. I think that's done and handled in some of the settings in BlueStacks, but typically this version is played in 16:9, which is widescreen, and that causes bosses to spawn a little differently, and they spawn in their normal positions as they would in 4:3. But in 16:9, the arenas are much wider, and for a second I thought you were still somehow drowning while above water.
Yeah, so I'm just confused because I'm pretty sure we're standing on the ground, but yet somehow I was not spin dashing, so that's awesome.
That was definitely bizarre there.
Oh. Fine, I can just do that. There we go.
Yeah, the very nice thing about, like, missing certain hits on bosses is that Tails can, in fact, recover from that a little bit faster than Sonic and Knuckles could because of his ability to fly into a boss to damage it. You do have to be careful when you fly into a boss to damage it, because you have to specifically be trying to aim with the upper half of Tails' hitbox. If you hit with the lower half of his hitbox, he will, in fact, take damage, and that loses more time. So here in Casino Night 1, we have no zip. That would normally there'd be a zip present in the Genesis version. In the Android version, it simply isn't, because it's harder to run on the ceiling to get inside the wall. So you could say that the ceiling and walls are solid. But otherwise, it is your same old it is your same old Casino Night 1 with the flippers, the bumpers, the Sonic Spinball wannabe feeling. We have a very solid salad going on. It is correct, you can play as Knuckles in the Android version as well. So you can play as Sonic and Tails, Sonic alone, Tails alone, Knuckles alone, and Knuckles and Tails, actually. So, here in Casino Night 2, it's harder to do a certain strat in the boss fight, which we'll get to in just a moment. But let's talk about what invincibility or iframes are. Invulnerability or iframes is either when you hit the boss or when you take damage. You'll see some amount of flashing. In the case of the boss, he flashes white. In your case, you just kind of flash. And during that time, you are not necessarily solid to the rest of the world. And if Robotnik's flashing, he is not solid to you or the rest of the world, so you can go right through him. His invincibility frames in this version of the game, for some reason, is they're longer. I don't know why. I don't know what they thought.
And wonky hitboxes.
Yeah.
By the way, that I just nicely demonstrated for you.
I'm voting Casino Night boss as the Spring Stadium 3 of this game. for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you've ever seen me run Sonic 3D Blast, or you saw me run it for the previous Frame Fatales, you would understand what I mean. But we're gonna be moving into Hilltop 1. So there's actually a zip that you would normally do in the Genesis version. You can't do that here. What it involves is there's a platform that you would ride down, and or no, it's not one you would ride. No, it is one you would ride down, like the ones on the like zip lines. You'd ride down, and it drops off into the lava. And normally in the Genesis version, you'd be able to fall right through the lava. And the way that happens is because there's a it's like a weird way the game calculates collision. It can only calculate collision for one object at a time, and the lava counts as an object in the game. But you're already standing on a falling platform, so it just kind of phases you right through. In this case, the lava is solid. The platform, also solid. This run, solid. That Hilltop 1, solid. I've never memed so hard about the word solid in my entire life.
When making commentary notes, I have never typed the word solid so many times.
I want you to know right now that in the notes that Flying Fox provided me for Sonic 1, there are exactly 12 instances of the word solid, which is why I started this joke. Angel, I also lava a good joke about solid things. So here in Hilltop 2, we're actually going to get to skip something. Believe it or not, this entire game is not solid. There is a boss skip in this act. We get 2 whole boss skips. One of them is here. It is going to be a little bit, it's going to be right before the last checkpoint, so she stops short and does a spin dash jump. And uses that speed to be able to fly over the boss and onto the capsule. So it's going to be right here. We want to make sure we're high enough to be able to get over the boss, or else we trigger it.
Oh, yes. There we go.
There we go. So, in fact, the boss was not even a liquid. The boss was a gas. Because you couldn't really see it. Because it never happened. Very solid boss skip. Very solid gaseous boss skip. There we go. The boss that was originally there, it's not the Driller one. That's the one in Mystic Cave, which is this zone here. You're thinking of the one that comes up out of the lava and attempts to spray fire. It just doesn't do a whole lot. So here in Mystic Cave, there's actually a few instances where the drawbridges, normally in the Genesis version, when you activate them to like make them like go back to 2 pieces or actually come out, like they become solid. They stop being solid if you make them like collapse or anything. When you collapse the bridges in this version, they're still solid. So we do have to be careful when we're jumping off of the pulleys and everything, so that we don't land on the solid bridges. Here in Mystic Cave Zone 2, we can't actually showcase this, or else it'd be much slower. But for those of you who are familiar with Sonic 2 lore, there was originally a number of unused zones. One of them, and probably the most famous, is the Hidden Palace zone. And there's a very infamous Pit of Doom, where it's just this really long spike pit. Like you'd fall, there's spikes at the bottom. If you're supersonic, I hope you don't have more than maybe 5 rings to your name.
Oh my god.
But if you fall, ooh, no. Are those stalagmites or stalactites? I'm not sure, I never remember.
Oh, no. That was really bad RNG on those.
Yeah, that was actually terrible RNG.
Oh, no. I've never seen RNG like that before.
Thank you, chat, for telling me it's stalactites. Thank you. But the stalactite RNG there was actually very aggressive. It's much more aggressive than my usage of the word solid.
I've never seen that pattern before.
So RNG is random number generator. It is a term we use to describe instances of randomness in a game, where the game procedurally, not even procedurally, but randomly generates a pattern or a sequence of events or anything like that. So those stalactites that fall out of the ceiling are actually entirely RNG.
Oh.
Whoa, hey!
Yeah, that's what happens when you spin dash too fast. You gotta wait a little bit.
Got a little excited
Space through the capsule.
We wanted to go into Oil Ocean that quickly. So here we've got Oil Ocean 1, and this is actually a much more stressful stage to play in this version than it is in the Genesis version. And this is for a couple of reasons. When you touch the oil, you can run along it, you can roll along it, but you cannot initiate a spin dash while in the oil. If you try to do that, you'll just jump. In Tails' case, you'll just start flying because you'll, be repeatedly pressing the jump button. So the other thing that causes this to be rather stressful is that the death plane is actually set a bit higher in this version than it is in the Genesis. So going along the oil route under the platforms here is actually much more difficult. That fan is also your biggest fan. It really just enjoys doing that.
Oh boy. Do you know, apparently I was told that in the Genesis version you can just roll underneath the fan and it won't stop you. I tried doing it in this version and no, it just stops you.
That fan is not a friend. And also, another funny thing about this about this run, or from this zone onward, Eggman becomes a very big fan of Pokemon. So we've got Kingdras and Octilleries here in Oil Ocean. In this next zone that we'll be entering in a bit, after we have our second boss skip. So we do actually get a zone gas. We're actually going to be flying up over here. There we go. A commentator did in fact turn into a robot.
At least you're back.
Yeah, there we go. So,
yeah.
B-Dragon, this category is known as Beat the Game as Tails, because you can play this game as a number of different character combinations. But yeah, it was a very solid robot. Here in Metropolis 1, there's a nut that we would normally use to create a level wrap, and actually, believe it or not, the reason why we can't do a level wrap is not because something is solid, it's because the camera the camera is fixed and actually functions correctly. So we would normally take one of these nuts on these bolts, we would bring it all the way down to the ground, and we would crouch on it. And when the camera pans down, if we were to jump, it causes things to unload, including that nut. So you actually go right through, like the level starts to wrap vertically, and we can skip a portion of it. That doesn't happen. Instead, what we do is we take the higher route as Tails in this act in particular, because it is actually faster. It's only faster for Tails. So this is actually one of those stages where I wish it would delete itself from the APK of the Android version or the cartridge on the Genesis version. Like, no matter what I do, it just... Metropolis haunts me. But here in Metro 2, there's no level wrap because you can't use the platform to go through the lava. And once again, it's just like the Hilltop one where the Genesis version can only calculate collision for one object at a time. And because this version can calculate collision for multiple objects at a time, it acknowledges that the lava is in fact solid. See, I actually got to say that.
Getting spikes up the boat. That's not good.
Oh, speaking of more Pokemon, actually, you can find Staryus, Scythers, and Kinglers in this stage. There's a Staryu right there. It used self-destruct.
Don't you do it! Wah! Don't you do it!
The lava is in fact I love a good salad. I'm sorry. Does Tails not get tired of flying in this version? Yes, Tails actually does get tired. It's just we don't typically fly in this version of the game long enough to be able to run out of breath in most cases. Yeah, if this was Gen 1, we would potentially miss self-destruct. So, this is a Gen 1 Pokemon game now. Here in Metro 3, actually, there's once again no level wrap, but not because oh, actually, no. There is an issue with the things being solid. There's two wraps that we could do in this stage. The first one, we can't use a platform to get inside the wall to zip because the wall is solid. And then there's the final nut bolt thing, whatever you want to call it. It is a nut on a bolt. That is what it actually is. But we can't unload it to cause a level wrap vertically, so we just have to play the rest of the level as intended. And we're actually going to end up in the boss fight where I actually rage quit this game when I was a child. So for those little bit of a story about Little Amber. The very first game I ever beat was Sonic 2 with Knuckles. And for those of you who don't know, Knuckles' jump height is extremely short compared to Tails and Sonic. And the boss fight of this stage kind of needs you to have a higher jump. I remember having one of those 6-button Genesis controllers that had like the turbo function or like the slow-mo function. I was using the slow-mo function to try to like find the correct frame to actually hit this boss. But instead we're Tails, so we're just going to keep one of these balloon Eggman decoys out so that we can just bounce between them and Robotnik and hit him with our propeller tails.
Oh, here they come.
Oh, they're coming. Oh, Lord, they're coming. They're coming.
Oh, Lord, they're coming. Nope.
Nope. So now we're in Sleep Chase Zone, or Check Twitter Zone, or Psy Chase Zone. Also known as Auto-Scroller, the level, the stage, the world, the game. So I actually would like to take a moment to talk about something that GDQ is doing. So I believe it's just been tweeted, but the month of October, I know we're in August, but the month of October is Disability Month. And that's going to involve GDQ hotfix. So I think, is the command up? There we go, perfect. So, so GameStone Quick is working with able gamers to give disabled gamers a voice and to show off what they can do. We do have open submissions for this, so you can submit your runs and get more information by using that command I just used in chat. And that will link you right to where you need to go. So definitely recommend checking that out. Able Gamers is a fantastic organization. They actually work with a controller company that I'm quite fond of as well. I won't name drop it here, but yeah, I actually quite appreciate what they do for accessibility in gaming. And as a speedrunner with carpal tunnel, it is very important to me to advocate for accessibility in speedrunning. Which reminds me, I actually find these runs of the classic Sonic games a lot more accessible to me, because they're not as intense on my hands. So, definitely like recommend using these if you're intimidated by the ridiculous glitches and zips and all these other things that I'm saying you can do in Genesis but can't do here. I do recommend looking at this. Try the Tails run, try the Knuckles run, whatever you want to do. But definitely recommend trying these games out as speed games. They're very fun. Oh, it is also important that I mention with the Disability Month thing that all disabilities are welcome for submissions. So whether it's visible, invisible, like diabetes, like things like that. Yeah, so things, as I got my thoughts together, so like things like diabetes, anxiety, other disorders like that, like those are very welcome for Disability Month as well. So if you're someone like me who has anxiety, I highly recommend looking into doing, maybe submitting a run. We would love to have you and showcase what you can do. There is a question in chat asking, is OCD covered? Yep. We also actually missed a wonderful example of skipping this boss fight, and by skipping I mean just you cheese it so hard that you might as well have skipped it. And only Tails can cheese it like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a lightning shield and Sonic can. Well, Sonic can get insta shield on here if you change the settings to Sonic 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that.
Yep.
So, some people might have accidentally softlocked their game once upon a time by defeating Silver Sonic on just the right frame. But yeah, you can in fact in the Genesis version softlock your game by killing Silver Sonic on just the right frame. Whitehead fixed that. You can't do it here, so no runs suddenly dying to that. Meanwhile, this is pretty much just the end of Sonic 2. This is your standard final boss fight. It's not really too different from what you'd see in the Genesis version. But yes, Silver Sonic is in fact solid, so you can't frame perfect soft block yourself.
And time's coming up. Time.
There we go.
So.
That was a 27:20.
Sorry, say that again?
27:20.
I have no idea if that's a PB or not. Probably not, but...
That was definitely a clean Death Egg zone for sure. Very solid Death Egg zone, if I do say so myself. This woman is going to, like, just never want to hear the word solid ever again. I'm sorry, this is what you signed up for when you pinged me to do commentary.
That's fine. I expect nothing less. It's all good.
I mean, the last time I did GDQ commentary, we were talking about watching TV optimally and saving anime, so... it's always a fun time. Yeah, so, first off, I want to thank, Flying Fox for asking me to do commentary, and plaguing you all with the word solid.
That's fine. But thank you for helping me with commentary, because I'm just one of those speedrunners who finds it really hard to talk and speedrun at the same time. I have tried to practice it for years, and I just cannot do it.
I'm very much the same way, so I'm very, very happy to offer my my solid commentary skills to accompany you during the Solid the Hedgehog block. If you want more solid commentary from me, I will be coming back tomorrow. I don't remember what time, and also we're, you know, ahead on schedule to my knowledge. I will be helping Star Smiley commentate Deltarune. So definitely different from what you've seen me do in the past with commentary, so it'll be more salad commentary and probably more really awful jokes from a sleep-deprived Amber, because yay, 15 going on 16 hours up, it's great. And also packing for a trip I'm taking the very next day. Anyways, yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Don't go away, because
Got Vixie next.
We've got one more Sonic run. It actually has Sonic in it.
Here's Knuckles.
Oh, it doesn't have Sonic in it. Wow.
This is hilarious. It's the Sonic block, but no one's playing Sonic.
Yeah, literally no one is playing Sonic, and because I'm not running 3D Blast, you can't have an excuse to put Sonic in there. That's fantastic. Oh my goodness. So this is the Tails and Knuckles block in frame for Tails. You heard me, right? I've been absolutely solidly bamboozled. Absolutely had the wool pulled over my eyes. It was so solid I couldn't see through it.
Oh, dear.
So, this is the Sonicless Sonic block, so Diet Sonic. Now with 100% less Sonic. And, yeah, once again, my name is Amber Cyprin. We've been joined by Flying Fox doing fantastically solid runs of the remakes of 3 classic Sonic games. And stick around for more Frame for Tails. I'm sticking with that now. And, enjoy Vixie's run of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And by that I mean Knuckles 2? And Knuckles. Wait, no, is it Sonic 2 and Knuckles?
Sonic 2 and Knuckles.
Ah, why did I think it was Sonic 3? No! I need sleep! I need a solid nap. You're absolutely
I think
right.
you deserve that sleep.
Yep. Alright, everyone, take it easy. Gonna put y'all over to setup.